Hey everybody, welcome back to our channel. Welcome back to our suburban homestead. Thank you for joining us. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about one of the uses that we get out of the black bamboo that grows here on our property. And that is through harvesting bamboo shoots. Now you'll see one behind me. Now this one's too tall. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But this one is growing in my cane patch, and that's great. I want it to continue to produce new cane. However, there's a lot of the shoots that come out into the yard where I don't want them. Those are the ones that I'll harvest. Now before we get started with the harvesting, let me tell you this. Bamboo creates a natural cyanogenic. Alright, so when you eat that, inside your body, the digesting process turns that into cyanide. So you want to be very careful about the kind that you're eating. Do some research. Make sure that the variety that you have or that you're wanting to get is a good one to eat. And you'll see where they're listed as edible or inedible, and that's not necessarily the amount of toxin that it has in it. Some of it's just whether they're actually good to eat. But make sure you are getting one that is edible, or you're harvesting one that is edible. Now, the good news about this cyanogenic is it's a taxiphyllin, so we're not getting into all the details, but what that means basically is you can remove it through the boiling process. So you do need to make sure that you prepare these and process them before you eat them. You want them not only to be on the safe side, but you want them to be tasty as well. And this cyanogenic in the cane and the bamboo will be very bitter. So if you don't break it down, even if it's within a safe amount for you to consume, if you don't get it out of there, it's not going to taste good. So make sure that you watch the video and just look at some of the things we're doing. Some of it I'm experimenting with. I'm fairly new to harvesting bamboo. I started doing some last year, and I have done a good bit this year, more than last year. And I have learned a lot even this year, learning new tips and tricks, and I'll show you a few different ways to get the bamboo shoot out, and some different things that I was trying with the boiling process. So you guys stick around, check out what we're doing. If you have any suggestions about the way that I'm doing it, because I'm still learning, if you have any suggestions that you've picked up along the way, go ahead and put them in the comments. I would really appreciate it, and let me know if I'm doing something that maybe I shouldn't be doing. So what you want to do with these shoots is you want to cut them off when they're 6 inches or less, so that they don't begin to get tough and bitter. So to do that, you're just going to place a shovel right here at the base, and I'm going to step on it to cut that shoot off underneath the ground, just below the dirt. Now if I were going to save these to sell or to store, then I would probably want to dig up the whole rhizome. I'm not doing that. I'm just going to take these in to prepare them. So all we need to do, I'm hitting a root, all we need to do is cut them off just below the surface. I think the last week we've put about 3.5 quarts in the freezer. So the wonderful thing about bamboo is there's very little maintenance, and it produces food for you like crazy. Alright, so this is what I harvested today. Over the next several days I'll continue to harvest some that weren't quite as big as I wanted them. But for now, we'll take these inside and we will prepare these to eat. I just started experimenting with this last year. So some of the things we're doing is still experimental, and as far as like cooking them and things like that, I'll show you a little bit of that, but we're still trying new things with them. And so when you finish husking one of these, it is going to look something like this once all these husks come off of there. So what you do is you start by taking the bottom leaves of this and just begin pulling the outside layers off. You can get your fingernail up under the edge there to give you a start, and they kind of alternate back and forth. So I'll pull this way on this leaf, and I'll pull this way on the next one. And you'll just keep working down. You begin to see the shoot emerge there. And so we're just going to keep working them all the way down. Katie's got hers. She's doing such a good job. Katie just came in from outside. She was feeding the rabbits. She loves to help. She loves to go take care of things. And she's doing an excellent job with these.
Touch on doing.
She may be doing better than I am on this one. Alright, there we go.
I think I'm gonna beat Daddy because I'm faster.
Oh, you're gonna beat me?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I see. Once I get to this part here, I'm just gonna take this and twist it. Just kind of clean that up a little bit there, get some of that leafy part off of it. And there is our shoot. So once we have the shoot, I'm going to cut the end off of it just to give me a good clean end, because that's got dirt on it from where I cut it. And then I can cut this in half or leave it whole. Either way, I've seen people do it both ways. And then I'll just take these and I will boil them, and I'll show you that in just a second. Okay, I'm going to show you one last technique. And this is one that I have been using. I find it to be a lot faster and easier. However, it does require your knife. If you are not as comfortable with a sharp blade, continue to do the peeling method that we were doing earlier. That is a method that is safe. My daughter loves to get in here and help me with all sorts of stuff. Something that she can do and just peel those right off, and it's the way she can move off. I'm not going to hand her a knife, obviously, so choose your technique based on your age, your skill level, and all of that. This is a lot quicker. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come about halfway up this shoot, and I'm going to cut in at an angle. As you can see, this is a very tough husky, and I'm just going to cut up. I don't quite see the end of the shoot yet, but that's okay. Once I have this, I'm just going to cut on the side. And notice I'm not cutting down the middle, I'm cutting down the side kind of at an angle, so that I don't cut into the shoot, but that expose the shoot. And so you'll see it here. And then what I'll usually do is I'll take the knife and just put a little slit right here in these leaves, just to make it easier for me to peel them back. And so you see there's the shoot right there. I didn't have to do a whole lot of husking or peeling or anything like that. I did break the tip off a little bit there. But that is just the easiest way for those to be husked. And then if you want to clean it up a little bit, you can just take your knife and burn up it like that. But super easy. I like that method a lot. As you can see, it produces quite a bit of waste. For such a small amount of shoots. But that will be put on a compost pile. It'll turn into some real good rich soil for our garden to help us grow things better. Alright, so now I'm going to go take these and put them in the pot. Okay, so I have my shoots, I have my water. A lot of things that you read or listen to will tell you to use white water off of drained rice, or water with rice bran in it to draw out the bitterness. I'm not going to do that with these. They're young, tender, and they really don't have a lot of bitterness to begin with. So I'm just going to try water, and I'm going to boil them for 10 minutes. I'm going to drain it, and I'm going to refill it and boil them again for another 10 minutes. And this is just experimenting with it a little bit. So I'm going to put these in here, and I'm going to bring it to a boil, and I will see you guys when I am done. Alright guys, so I finished boiling them. What I did was I boiled them in plain water for 10 minutes. I changed the water out, put fresh water in, and then boiled them again for another 10 to 15 minutes. Now, I did not use the rice water like we discussed. I just used the plain water. I wasn't sure how that would go, but they turned out pretty good. Even some of the bigger pieces that I wasn't sure, even if I did it in rice water, how they turn out, they're not bitter. So by boiling them and draining the water and boiling them again, I got rid of any of the bitterness, any of the toxins that may have come out of there. And they are nice and tender, and they taste good. So I'm going to put these in water and store them in a refrigerator. I can store them for a few days that way. Tomorrow I've got some more I'm going to harvest, and then I'm going to decide whether to go ahead and use these or use some of them, and what I may put in a jar for later. Okay guys, so just as a quick follow-up, let me tell you what I did. I did the first batch like I showed you in the plain water, and then I did another batch in rice water. So I had a side-by-side comparison. Neither one was tough, neither one was bitter. However, the batch that I did in the rice water had a subtle flavor difference. It was a better flavor. So I do recommend that as the way to go. But if you don't have the rice water, you can just do it in regular water. Most likely you'll be fine. But again, that may be dependent on your variety of bamboo. So you might have to experiment with it. You may have to test that out a little bit. Making rice water is really simple. All we're going to do is take 1 cup of rice, and we're going to add it to this bowl. And then we're going to take 3 cups of cool water, and we're going to let this soak for 20 to 30 minutes. After it's soaked, we'll strain it, and then the water that we strain off of this will be what we use for our rice water to cook our bamboo shoots in. So it's really simple. Some people have a recipe with just a half a cup of rice, which is fine, but I usually cook 1 cup, which is why I am going to soak 1 cup. Okay guys, so that's some of what we're doing with our bamboo shoots. I hope that helps some of you who are just considering getting into shoot harvesting. It's a wonderful plant to have. There's very little maintenance. All you have to do is harvest the shoots out of the areas that you don't want them to grow, then use the cane for whatever projects you have around the homestead. It is a wonderful resource to have. We're glad to have it, and we're glad to have you guys coming along with us. So just like the video, subscribe, turn on notifications, and let's continue to grow together. And we can't wait to see you guys next time.
Bye bye guys. See you next time.